That's on all of us. We own it. Can't hide from it. It's all of us. It's offense, defense, special teams. It's players and coaches. We'll own it. It's frustrating, but we'll move on together. That's what we'll do. Then I'll take any questions.
I know Sheduer had the pretty bad interception, but just overall, what about the sort of moxie that he showed in bringing?
Yeah, he fought, throughout the game, which we knew he would. Obviously, with any young player, Mary Kay, there's going to be ups and downs, and I thought there were some really, really, really good moments. He'll keep learning from some of the plays that he wants back, but some really good moments.
What was supposed to happen on that last 2-point conversion?
Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Jeff, but obviously did not go as we thought it would.
Did you make that call or did Tommy?
Yeah, I make every call. Why would you take him off? Yeah, it's a 2-point play. Didn't come through on our first 2-point play. Got to the second 2-point play. We didn't come through, but that's on me.
Was that play call yours or Tommy's?
I'm responsible for all of it.
He's responsible for all of it. He's responsible for all of it. Kevin Stefanski, and we're going to get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Stefanski and Sheduer Sanders are always going to have a problem. They're always going to have a problem. He called those plays. And they wanted to be in Cleveland. They media ain't like LA and all that. No. They media is brutal. They give you the real. So you see everybody in there pissed off. Man, they like, hey, man, he had the hot hand. I mean, dog, they got real media over there. They ain't got no cupcake. We gonna get the little softball questions. Oh, no. You getting the whole smear. This is going back to the 80s. They like, hey, what the hell going on, man? He had the hot end. Why would you take him out the game? Hey, look, it's like some people, man, the media was talking like they had money on the line. That's how real it was. And this guy took him out. And he said, well, we didn't get the last 2-point conversion, so this one, he's got the hot hand. Why would you take your starting quarterback out of the game when the game's on the line? Who's been hot? It doesn't make sense. Nowhere, shape, or form does any way that makes sense. People think Kevin Stefanski's betting against the team. The way he's doing it, he's inept at being a head coach. But it's more deeper than that. It is very much more deeper than that. And we're going to get into all of it. But let's listen to this.
On the first one, just I guess what prompted wanting to go forward in that scenario?
Yeah, it's a scenario that we talk about a lot. That's something that when you're down 14, feel good about the decision there. Didn't come through.
You mentioned the run defense. What did you see as being the biggest issue?
Yeah, we have to look at it. That's not what we're built to do. It's not what we're about. We'll look at all of it again. It's things that we'll make sure we point it out and fix it. But give them credit. But that's something that we hang our hat on.
Kevin, another special teams blunder. How do you keep believing in Bubba?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that type of stuff, Jeff. We have to play better. We have to coach better. But that's just the bottom line.
Didn't I tell you they real? Didn't I just tell you they real? My man just said, look, man, how you going to continue to believe in Bubba? Dog, you can't get this real on no sports media ever. Listen to what my man said. This Jeff.
Another special teams blunder. How do you keep believing in Bubba?
Yeah, I'm not.
Another special teams blunder. How do you keep believing in Bubba? You ain't gonna get no raw in there. Jeff need to be on ESPN right now. Get that guy out of there, and Cleveland put him in a booth on ESPN. I'm listening to Jeff every day. No, Bubba is the special teams coordinator. Yeah, Vetrone. His name, I think it's Ray Vetrone. They call him Bubba. Bubba Vetrone. They have the Browns have like one of the worst special teams in history. That's why he was like, man, another special teams blunder. How do you continue to believe in Bubba? That's a hell of a thing to say to the head coach of the team. I'm not going to get into that type of stuff, Jeff.
Not going to get into that type of stuff, Jeff. We have to play better. We have to coach better. But that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not finna do that. You're not finna get me to go down there, Jeff. I'll need Jeff right there. Mic Jeff up. Put Jeff on ESPN right now. Now, that's who they need out there. We need more Jeffs. How do you continue to believe in Bubba? Oh, man. So, look at the disappointment, the look, the expression on his face, knowing he got to eat crow because his move didn't work. Now, let's go to the beginning of all this, right? Because they asked Sheduer already about what was going on. And Sheduer already told them pretty much like, I always want to be out there. Like, this is not my call. Now, since the offseason, they had this, like the Cleveland Browns would draft like 5 damn quarterbacks to get the guy they wanted to get, and Sheduer Sanders the whole damn time. They paying one quarterback $200 million damn near, not to even play football. And here we go with this quarterback drama, which is not new territory for them. They love a quarterback drama over there. The Browns have had no stability. Now, here's the major problem why these two are always going to butt heads. I know. It hurts. It hurts for some to hear it said and be put in such a bold way. I know. I get it. But let's look at this. Sheduer Sanders put up great numbers. I mean, outstanding numbers for a rookie. The Browns aren't really a mess. It's because it's like, look, play reflects leadership. Okay? Kevin Stefanski is a poor example of a leader. I bet you with a new head coach, they play a lot better instantly. And you like, man, why are these the same players? Why are everybody? Leadership. Absolute leadership. You look at the Chicago Bears. They got a new head coach, and you see what happened? The guys they said couldn't play, and those guys are making plays all over the field. I mean, they got new guys stepping in there making a play. They actually believe they gonna win, and they can win. The Browns offensive coordinator was fired after a 3-14 season. So everything was going to the front office with all the agents, right? Dylan Gabriel didn't just show up out of nowhere. Everybody said, Dylan Gabriel? You took him over Sheduer Sanders? And it was just too obvious why Sheduer Sanders wasn't even playing a regular season snap. Now, Jimmy Sexton is Kevin Stefanski's agent. And he was in all the fan forums, everything. And Sexton, who represented both of the Browns' recent head coaches, Freddie Kitchens and Stefanski himself. He was their agent. He works for CAA. And he happens to cover nearly half of the decision makers inside the Cleveland building. Andrew Berry, who's the general manager for the Cleveland Browns, works with another CAA rep. So CAA run the Cleveland Browns. See, y'all gonna come here and y'all ain't gonna get the blah, blah, blah that they tell you on every show. You come here, you're gonna get the truth. Everybody here, you're gonna get the truth because nobody's talking about it on TV or even the internet. They keep telling these stories that don't make any sense. Like, why is he doing this? This man should just be fired. It's a bigger plan than just Kevin Stefanski. He is a tool. Okay? The guy couldn't coach his way out of a goddamn parking lot. Now, Sexton's client list don't stop at the NFL borders. See, Dan Lanning, Brent, what's his name? Werner Bowles, Gus Malzahn are all college coaches of Dylan Gabriel. That's right. Jimmy Sexton represents Danny Lanning, Brent Venables, and Gus Malzahn, all three who were college coaches of Dylan Gabriel's. For his entire career, the CAA agents have had represented all of his coaches, everything, including the coaches in Cleveland. He was going to Cleveland no matter what. From UCF to Oklahoma to Oregon. My sister went to UCF. Know exactly what I'm talking about. I knew everything about UCF because she went to college there. That's when I started paying attention to UCF. The web of connections is raising more eyebrows in Cleveland. Now, ESPN ain't going to tell you all of this. Only in Cleveland does something like this go on. So, the offensive coordinator, remember Ken Dorsey? Guess what agency he got? CAA. He got fired in January after that 3-14 run. They had to get rid of Ken Dorsey. So they bring in Tommy Reeves, and he came from Excel Sports Management. So now Tommy Reeves is from a whole nother agency. Like they finna change all this, right? So they bring in Tommy Reeves, which means he's the odd man out in the agency carousel that they got going on. So that's how Shakur Stevenson got on the team. I mean, Shakur Stevenson, that's funny. I mean, Sheduer Sanders. That's how he got on there, Tommy. So he's not even letting Tommy make the calls. They said, who made that call? Was it Tommy or was it you? So the offensive coordinator, you are not letting him call the plays. You are calling all the plays, Kevin Stefanski. You are upset that the Browns, they went and hired somebody from Excel Sports Management and not from CAA. That's who he's represented by. So Tommy Reeves comes in and you don't even want to let him do his job. And when he does call a play, you say you called it. When the play works, it was your call. Now you act like you're this leader who's falling on the sword, talking about I make all the plays. I make all the calls.
Yeah, I make every call.
Why would you take him off?
Yeah, he'll keep learning from some of the plays that he wants back, but some really good moments.
What was supposed to happen on that last 2-point conversion?
Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Jeff, but obviously it did not go as we thought it would.
Did you make that call or did Tommy?
Yeah, I make every call. Why would
you take him off?
Yeah, it's a 2-point play. Didn't come through on our first 2-point play. Got to the second 2-point play. We didn't come through, but that's on me.
Was that play call yours or Tommy's?
I'm responsible for all of it.
So he already knows he's responsible for all of it. He called the 2-point play to take Sheduer out of the game to win the game at the end. This is all strategically done by him, protecting his agency, because they're upset that Dylan Gabriel, who's still on the team, is not the starting quarterback. Dylan Gabriel might be a good quarterback someday. Just right now, he's not better than Sheduer Sanders. And the team knows it. Dylan Gabriel does not give you a chance to win games. He just don't right now. He looks like he's lost. He can't put the ball in spots. He looks like a deer in headlights. The game's moving too fast for him. But what they've done to this kid should never be done ever in life. Now, Kevin Stefanski is the head coach because CAA put him there. He's a plant. He's a tool. He probably is a better offensive coordinator who they just put as head coach. None of these offensive coordinator guys can be head coaches. They told you, they just don't know what it takes. And most of them are comfortable being coordinators. And they can't be head coaches. They cut Joe Flacco after he was 1-3 with Cleveland. Whereas Dylan, who has the same record, is being cited as QB1. So they both 1-3 because they're on the same team. He moves up to QB1 over Sheduer. All of the stuff was predetermined that he was going to be the starter anyway over Sheduer Sanders, letting Sheduer Sanders sit in the background, watch and learn from Dylan Gabriel, because that's who they wanted to push, the agency. Now they got to eat crow because the fans were going insane and the public outcry was so big they had to make a switch. But they're never going to get along. And these are the reasons. That's the reasons why. He's not signed with their agency. Sheduer Sanders is not signed with their agency. So the agency don't want to promote him. They want to promote Dylan Gabriel. Sheduer ain't that good. He's a rookie who shown us more promise than Dylan Gabriel has ever shown us. Would you agree with that? Imagine having to sit and watch from somebody you know is more inferior than you as a quarterback. And this is God's work. God is exposing all of this because we wouldn't be talking about it as much if it wasn't blowing up right in their face. If it wasn't blowing up right in their face. That's why I wanted y'all to see this firsthand. This is exactly what's going on. He said Gabriel has never thrown a pass over 30 yards. He can't. I'm not saying he won't be a great quarterback one day or someday, but this is pure disdain and dislike. And it is borderline. This coach here is definitely operating still under CAA agent representation. He's forced to play Sheduer. He doesn't want to play Sheduer. I think he has a problem with people of color. He definitely doesn't like Sheduer Sanders. He can't stand him. And the kid is the nicest person ever. Like, Sheduer is the nicest human being you ever gonna meet. He is not disrespectful. He don't talk bad about people. He don't talk about people behind their back. Like, you would be surprised. You would be so surprised. Like, he is the guy you would want in the locker room with you. He thrives off positivity. He does not have a negative bone in his body. And that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody like that. They just don't. They don't thrive like that. Even all the hate he was getting, and he met his biggest hater, and he was like, man, why do you have so much negativity towards me? I've never done anything. People told me your arm wasn't strong enough. Now, today, he up there. Y'all were right. I was wrong. He in there eating crow today. Because everything he said Sheduer couldn't do, he was doing. He the first rookie this year to throw for over 300 yards in a football game. Yes, if Sheduer Sanders was white, Kevin Stefanski would feel a lot more better, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think he is a stark racist. I think he's undercover racist, in my opinion. Now, that's my opinion. I think he is an undercover racist. I think he's pissed he got to wear a black hoodie. Now, the fact that he's forced, no, I don't. I don't think everybody's racist. There's people out here who aren't racist. They just don't care. I mean, seriously. But this guy here, racist people, you know, because it bothers them. They get really uncomfortable. You can tell a racist a mile away. They skin crawl. They can't deal with it. And that's what he's going through right now. They're making up so many lies. Sheduer said he would play anywhere. Anywhere. He didn't care. When have you seen somebody who has somebody's personal cell phone number, a coaching staff from a team, and their kids get it and decide to call Sheduer Stevenson, pranking him, telling him we finna draft you. When has that ever happened to anybody in the draft? And they did it to Sheduer Sanders. They don't like prime Deion Sanders and want to take it out on Sheduer Sanders. Oh, he ain't gonna do what they did in college. Made a mockery of college. Made a mockery of college because they were breaking all viewerships. People was watching Colorado games over their big games that they paid all the money for. That here come this college in Colorado, this little college in Colorado now is getting all the prime games, and they had to go change everything. So all the big universities was pissed. So all you alumni was mad, and y'all got together with your little media and want to go and bash them. Like, they supposed to be watching the Ohio State game, and they want to watch Colorado. Yeah. They want to watch a black man with a black quarterback. And his sons. Y'all were mad. And y'all tried to team up and go up against him, hating him because he free to do whatever he want. Primetime came out there in a big mink coat. He was warm. He had a bunch of chains on. They said, why in the world you coming in here? You got a game to play. Why are you wearing all this jewelry? Man, if I look good, smell good, dress good, and I feel good, I play good. That's just how he was. He was free to do what he want to do. They don't want black people to ever have the feeling of being free. They want their mind to be in prison. So they want to punish Sheduer like it's punishing Deion. I'm going to punish your son now. The NFL, you know, they really showing what they really all about. So this is why Stefanski is up here looking stupid, because he decided he wanted to pull Sheduer Sanders out of the game to let somebody else be able to win it. That was the whole thing. You could have a big game, but now I got to pull you because we got to let somebody else win the game for us. That was the decision they made. And it erupted the entire Browns fan base because they are there to watch every Browns game. So they know they suck every year, and they're there to cover the games no matter what. So when you see the Browns lose and you got Sheduer Sanders out here putting up 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 98 quarterback rating, rushed for 29 yards. Did you not know that he was the leading rusher for the game? Your running game was awful. Your offensive line was terrible. You couldn't block anybody, couldn't get any holes. That your leading rusher was Sheduer Sanders with 29 yards. So he had to open up the passing game and throw 42 passes. He was 23 of 42. And this is only his 3rd start. You threw him out there the first time to start without him having any reps with the first team, which made no sense. He's a number 2 quarterback. When has a number 2 quarterback never had no reps with the first team? Even Cam Newton told you. He said, I was the number 1 quarterback. I'm the starting quarterback. In case I go down or anything, the backup, he got to do the reps. He got to get some reps with the first team. When do we do that? But see, that's God's work. God's exposing these racist, clicked up cult members right before your eyes. Now, out of all the rookie quarterbacks, Sheduer Sanders, because they keep talking about the New Orleans guy, that guy, what's his name? Shulk, or whatever his name is, Tyler Shulk. Tyler Shulk is something else. Tyler Shulk is going to be great. Tyler Shulk threw 20 passes the whole damn game, had 100-some yards. But that's how you do Tyler Shulk. You don't want him to overwork him. You want him to be so conserved. Tyler Shulk. I'm like, you praising a Tyler Shulk who only threw for 140 yards and 20 passes for the entire game. That's what you want. You want to build him up slow. But any black quarterback, he only had 100-some yards. No, let's not get crazy. He only had 100-some yards. You know, he looked lost out there. He struggled. And here's Tyler Shulk, damn near 30-year-old rookie. That's what I'm saying. A damn near 30-year-old rookie. You put him out there, and he's supposed to be the savior. They're always going to have issues. There's nothing Sheduer Sanders can do that Kevin Stefanski is going to be a fan of. He could bring him coffee every day. He can do everything. Hey, coach, here's your playing thing. Here's your thing. Kevin Stefanski don't like him, and he's never going to like him. He doesn't want him to be the quarterback. It's all about Dylan Gabriel because he's all about what his agency wants. And now that Tommy Reeves is there from XL Sports, and they wanted to get Sheduer Sanders, who's also not part of CAA. And CAA is running the entire Cleveland Browns. They had every head coach that had Dylan Gabriel had CAA agents. They have been totally the general manager, everybody. CAA represents the damn Cleveland Browns. And y'all let this happen because the fans said we got to get a splash. And Sheduer Sanders is going to keep us in the headlines, but we never going to play him. So they said, good, we'll take his name and we'll use his name and they'll be writing about the Browns because we're going to suck this year. They knew they were going to suck this year. The Browns went into this season knowing they were going to suck, but they promised, please don't leave us. They told the number one Wayne, Garrett, hey, Garrett, stay. Myles Garrett, please stay. Please stay. We're going to be all right. We finna, trust me. Myles Garrett want to know, why am I losing games and getting 5 sacks a game and losing because we don't have a quarterback when we got a quarterback that you won't play? So Myles Garrett started to complain. Everybody else started to complain. And Myles Garrett and Sheduer Sanders are like buddies. But here's what's going to be their problem now. And I tell you, this is how God works. They were never intending on playing Sheduer Sanders this entire season. They're going to redshirt him pretty much in the NFL. And they had all these coaches, these experts who going on these football shows talking as if Sheduer Sanders is dumb. He don't know plays. He can't think. He can't do something on the court. He ain't that smart. It's just something must be wrong. They told me he got arm soreness. You know, we don't know how durable the kid is. Every quarterback don't have arm soreness if you're throwing 160 passes in a game or in practice. Your arm's going to be sore. This is what happens. They tried to make like it was some anomaly. No, the Cleveland Brown fans are now even more upset. And they want Kevin Stefanski fired. And he should be fired, but it's CAA. He might not be fired, but here's where it's going to backfire, ladies and gentlemen. And I want y'all to hear this first. Hit the like button up, y'all. Hit the like button up. I'm glad y'all here. We're going to go on the Patreon and really get more into this 100%. When we get over there, we're going to really cook. Now, here's the thing. Sheduer Sanders can leave. See, that they're going to do is make a situation. What's up, love and peace? Shouts out to our new member. Here's what's really finna cook. Oh, Miles did speak up for Shakur by saying, trade me. Y'all ain't finna, I'm not finna sit here and just keep losing every week. And we got a quarterback out here. We got to do something. No, the Cleveland Browns are a bad team because it's a bad organization. So when you got a bad organization, this is going to be the results. Even when they have success, they torpedo their success. And then you bring this tool over here and make him a head coach. But see, now it's all backfired because people can see now what Sheduer has the opportunity to do. He brings energy to your team. This is only his third start, but the team played better offensively around him. He gave them hope. Something that you weren't getting out of no Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel was not inspiring hope in the team because they practiced with him all week, and the team is like, oh, we're going to get killed. This guy's selling balls so people to get knocked out. He can't throw the ball past 10 yards. The guy is not NFL quarterback ready. Why do you think he went from UCF, bouncing from college to college? He went everywhere. Oklahoma, Oregon, 3 different colleges. Nobody said, oh, this is the game. Oh, man, he is really the goods now. He's broke out. He gives them hope. He gives you a chance to win. That's what you want. This is what the fans want. Why are we playing this carousel game with quarterbacks and all of this stuff? We got to start getting better now. We have the opportunity. Let's work with the pieces we got. Let's move around. But no, let's be racist. We're going to be racist and bigots. And we're going to say, no, we're going to hold this guy back because we were only using him for his name to get press. This is supposed to be Dylan Gabriel's team, and if he wanted to get mad and leave, he can go leave after we get press and use him for 2 years. Okay, now it backfired. You had to play him because the fans and the players on the team made you play him. You had no choice. So you said, all right, let me stick him out there and make him look bad. So say, see? But you put him out there with no reps on the first team, and he was scoring touchdowns. Something you couldn't do. So now it's like, hey, he's like, well, I did good, even though I didn't have any reps with the first unit. But I think we did pretty good. So he couldn't run a lot of plays because he didn't have a lot of reps. They didn't have any timing. He never got a chance to work with the first unit. And they was like, whoa, every quarterback who heard that, ex-quarterback, anything, like, whoa, that don't make sense. How does that happen? How in the world does your draft, your quarterback, who's your number 2 on your draft chart, has no reps in practice with your first team? If they bring him back next year, he should leave. I think he's what deal did they sign him to? See, they made a mistake and they're gonna end up putting themselves in a position where they won't have a quarterback next year. They'll have Dylan Gabriel. Sheduer might not be in Cleveland. And I couldn't blame him. If I'm the Cleveland Browns fans, would you expect Sheduer Sanders to want to come back to play if he got an option to leave and play under Kevin Stefanski? Hell no. The Browns ain't tanking. They're terrible. Special teams is horrible. They run defense. They just gave up 161 rushing yards to Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard ain't had a good game like that since his probably second year in Dallas. No way Tony Pollard is supposed to be putting up no 161 yards rushing and getting 2 touchdowns. That's unexcusable. That's how you lost the game. Cam Ward can't get a chance to pass. Tony Pollard beat the Browns on the ground. And this guy, Kevin Stefanski, has no clue on what he wants to run. Mm-hmm. I don't think Kevin Stefanski thinks black guys should be quarterbacks. I really believe that. I don't think he likes Sheduer Sanders. I don't think he wants him in there. He doesn't give me a vibe of a head coach that's, there for their players. I don't see him congratulate. Like, he reluctantly congratulates him. Like, he doesn't even want to acknowledge him. It's the weirdest relationship I've ever seen from anybody. I've never seen a poor relationship between a coach and a head coach when the player has done everything you've asked and you give him no type of encouragement, nothing. It's pathetic. So he told you he makes all the decisions. Right? So they're bad all around. Special teams. The run game was terrible. Sheduer led the team in running with 29 yards. It's awful. Far cry from when they had Chubb and Hunt. When you got 2 running backs, that's a force. That's hard to beat. That's why Detroit, they had Gibbs and Montgomery. The Bears now got the Monungai and they got Swift. You have a dual running back that can both punish you, and you got one that's finesse. You can move the chains, and you're going to be moving those win columns up because you're controlling time of possession. Oh yeah. Now I want y'all to hear, because this is
feeling for Ethan. He's a huge part of our team, of our offense. We've relied heavily on him, having a veteran center in there. So disappointed for him, but I know he will bounce back. He's got the right attitude, as you guys would imagine, but disappointed for Ethan. Obviously, that game doesn't go our way, and just trying to talk through it with the team this morning on the things that, the reasons for that and the things that we can do better, the things that we have to do better as a football team, offense, defense, special teams, player coaches, things that we have to improve upon in games like that. So it's frustrating. We got to learn from it, and then we'll move on to Chicago. With that, I'll take any questions.
Here we go.
First question will go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, is Sheduer Sanders your starter now for the rest of the season?
Yes.
Okay. And what is your thinking behind that?
Look, you see how reluctant he is to answer that question? Did you see how reluctant he was to answer that question? Now, let's see.
I think all along, Mary Kay, as you know, with our quarterbacks and our young players, you're always making sure that you're making the right decisions for our guys. And I think he has constantly and consistently gotten better in each one of these games and how he's approached this game. He's been working very hard. So I feel good about where his development is heading. He knows there are always going to be plays that he can be better and those type of things. But he's very intentional about getting better each and every game he's out there.
Has anything surprised you about his development over these past 3 starts?
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. Surprise is the word, Mary Kay. I think, again, we've been around each other now going back to April. So I've seen constant improvement in a bunch of areas, but I also saw in that game some areas of improvement in some areas that we asked him to improve upon. And I think that's, the fun part of coaching is developing players and giving them tools to improve in certain areas, if you will. And I think the fun part is when you have players like Sheduer, like our rookies, whomever it may be, that are very intentional about their own development as well.
Now he's trying to take credit. Oh, he's trying to take away the credit they're giving Sheduer, then take credit for the development of Shakur by saying, hey, we're giving them the tools they need. There's some areas that he's not good at, that he's got to get better at, and we're doing that. And all our rookies. Like, he's still trying to throw Dylan Gabriel in the mix. You hear this guy? This man is completely out of his mind. Did they fire him? He should have been fired after the game. I would not let this man back on the field. And the crazy thing is the Browns might bring him right back next year. This is what's crazy to me. I can't win with a coach like this. I'll be like, the coach got to go, I got to go. I can't be here. This guy want to take credit for me whenever I do something that he put me in every disadvantage in the world, and then I succeed. Now it's because of his tutelage and his coaching, and he didn't even want me on the field. Oh, hell no. I'm out of here. You got Dylan Gabriel. Good luck with that. That's how I would have did it. There's no way.
Thank you.
Bro, it kills him to say that Sheduer is going to be the quarterback. It kills him to say that, Sheduer is better than Dylan, always has been better than Dylan, and will be better than Dylan, bro.
I know that you guys use the probabilities and all those type of things when making those particular decisions about going for 2. I guess my question is, you guys have been doing this for a long time, and the wins and losses don't seem to be equating that. My question is, how much of game flow and that factor in, and can they outweigh just the probabilities of, hey, you're down 14, you just scored, go ahead and go for two, so it informs you whether or not you should kick one or two on that second touchdown. I'm trying to understand like the process and the philosophy there with going for two with that first touchdown scored when you're down 14.
Yeah, well, I think you understand the philosophy behind it. I think I have to go into every game understanding our team, their team, the matchups, the plays that we have available to us. Do we like them? Do we not? Those are the type of decisions that factor into the game. Obviously, you take all that information in, Daryl, as you know, in all your decisions that you make. But ultimately, you're making decisions based on the game that you're playing and what's in front of you.
And what in front of you was you're down, 14? Why were you going for two? All you needed to do was kick the extra point. There was no need to go for the 2-point conversion. All this means is that you are inept at your job and you need to be fired. In my opinion, I think you have a problem with African Americans in position of power, and definitely at quarterback. You're there to push the agenda of the agency, which is CAA. I know all about it. I know everything that's going on over there. So you can't hide and fool it from me. The whole world knows it now. And you damn sure ain't fooled nobody black. We know exactly what's happening over there. All they had to do was look at you and look at your past. You made everybody dig into you. And once we dug into you, well, all the worms start coming up. All we had to do was dig into Stefanski and his lies. No, Deshaun Watson was there because they got him, and the owner who just took over the team, the GM who just came in the door, said, hey, let's get Deshaun Watson in here. You know why? Because who he was represented by, his agency. And they said, we're going to give him guaranteed money. And that's like, he got these cases on him. It's guaranteed money. Why would you pay him? Did you think that was Stefanski's call? Hell no. And what did he do to Watson? Get Watson hurt. Call some of the worst plays. Deshaun Watson never looked as bad as he did when he played for the Cleveland Browns. This guy is a nuisance as head coach and offensive coordinator. He's a moron. He gave you no reason why they even went for the 2-point conversion the first time, which put them in a position to have to go for two there. He didn't want to win. He wants Sheduer Sanders to lose. He know they're not going to the playoffs. So now he's like, look, I just want this kid to lose. Yeah, we covered all that, buddy. It goes a lot deeper than that. The coach before him, CAA, has all of it. Dylan Gabriel's, all of his coaches were represented by CAA, from UCF, Oregon, all of them. Oklahoma, the whole nine. Every coach he has ever had was CAA. That's how they moved him around. He's a CAA product. Sexton is their agent. Yes, he represents both of them. That's why he's on the Cleveland Browns. Half of the general manager agency is CAA. They are all part of the same organization. The only one that isn't is Tommy Rees. He's from Excel. They just got Tommy Rees. The guy that they just fired, it was a whole CAA party until they got rid of and fired the last offensive coordinator. And now in comes Tommy Rees, who's from Excel. And that's when the change started. And that's how they got Sheduer, because Tommy Rees is on the team. So now that Tommy brought Sheduer on the team, they were just going to use Sheduer for his name and his father's name, because they're going to talk about Sheduer Sanders in Cleveland. So Cleveland just going to use him to boost their team up. They was basically knew they were going to suck this year. They just wanted to use his name. But now they done messed up and they had to play him. So now they want him to lose and look bad, not giving him any reps, calling them the worst plays in football history. They want him to look bad because they want Dylan Gabriel. This guy is trying to sabotage Sheduer. Sheduer Sanders, that's why he took him out for the 2-point conversion. Nothing else even makes sense. Like, why would you take him out for the 2-point conversion? What was the thought process in it? How is that going to make your team convert this better? Yeah. What chances do you have when you take the guy who's rolling out of the game? What was that going to do? From running back throwing the ball. Like, it's like, dude, what is you doing? You are sabotaging the game on purpose. That's what it shows me. He's a moron.
And then just a question about Sheduer and just his progress, similar to what Mary Kay was asking. The fact that he put up 4 touchdowns in just his third start versus what he did in that first start at Las Vegas, just how pleasantly surprised are you with his progression in such a short timeline, considering maybe how far he might have been behind in training camp and maybe the first quarter of the season?
Yeah, again, not maybe the terms I'd use other than tell you I've been really impressed by his work ethic. And that's going back to since the moment he got here. That's what we've been striving to work with him and with all of our guys. As you know, it's been a huge area for us is player development of all of our players. And I think the guys, when they embrace it, that's the fun part where you get to see these guys making strides. So he's still very early into his career, and he would tell you the same. You want to have constant improvement in everything you're doing. There's moments in these games that come up that are hard to replicate in practice. You can talk through them on tape. You can talk through them in a walkthrough, and then you get the rep in a game, and that's the most valuable learning tool you can have. And I think he will only take all of that and use that to his development moving forward.
Next, we go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, couple other injury questions. Do you have an update on Denzel and David coming out of the game?
Yeah, no update other than to say we'll see how they are come Wednesday.
Jack's still in the protocol?
Yes.
Wyatt out this week?
Yes.
Okay. And then after, with time to reflect on it, the idea of going with the hot hand with Sheduer on that last 2-point conversion, do you have any second thoughts about it? I understand, why he went to the Wildcat, but the fact that he's been playing so well, does that make you think twice about it?
Listen, when you come up short like you do, you think about everything and what you could do differently. Obviously, when you get in those moments, you have the calls ready to roll and plays that you've talked about pre-game and throughout the week. There are going to be times where you want to call back. There will be times where you have success and it didn't come off exactly how you wanted it. But bottom line is,
you sabotaged
we came up short in both those tries, and that's where I have to look at it and say, are there things that we can do better? And that's my job to look at it constantly.
This guy is a complete media BS artist. Yes, the man should be fired. But what they did was help Sheduer more than everything, because now just by him doing that and putting up numbers and showing what he can do on the field with all the remedial plays they call, he is going to position himself to be on another team. He going to be gone. Yeah, of course it's spiritual, because you got a kid and Sheduer Sanders, like he said, the kid never did nothing wrong. He never said nothing bad about the coach. He just going to keep there and he stay positive. I've never seen nobody that positive all the time. Collusion is confirmed. You better believe it's confirmed. It's all a collusion. And this is why the organization lose. You got the agency running the whole organization. And now when XL Sports coming in, they was like, why you hired this Tommy Reeves? Then you don't even want to let Tommy Reeves call any plays. Then they say, who called that play at the end? You or Tommy? I call that play. I'm calling all the plays. So if you calling all the plays, you don't want Tommy to call. Tommy been hired to come in there and be the offensive coordinator. Now you making Tommy Reeves look bad, because they're gonna be like, man, he's like, look, I'll run some plays in. The coach don't want to use my plays. It's up to him. He's calling the plays he want to run. So he want to be the offensive coordinator and the head coach. So I'm just getting paid, and I'm just supposed to sit here and shut up. If Stefanski is not fired, Sheduer Sanders should leave. He should pack it up and he should go. There's nothing to stick around for. I'm serious. It's time to go. If you can't get the respect that you properly deserve, then it's time to leave. All right, pack him up, son. CAA is a powerful agency. That's where Leon Rose and a lot of people in that agency, they represent mostly their sports agency. So, they used to represent Stephen A. Smith before he switched because he's in entertainment now. So he needed an entertainment agency to represent him. So he got William Morris to be his agents. And that's when you seen him on Santa Barbara General Hospital as Brick, gonna get his acting on, getting his acting credits up. CAA is Jimmy Sexton, yeah, he's the guy that got Dylan Gabriel, and he represents him, but he's not really a big guy at all. Jimmy Sexton is not one of the big reps. He's just a rep. The big reps you won't even see them. They don't even care. The big reps ain't repping the Browns. They got them. They're the minions. Their job is to just get everybody under the umbrella. The general manager, he is represented by CAA. Everybody there is. And all of Dylan Gabriel's coaches from UCF was represented by him. When he went to Oklahoma, CAA was representing the head coach. CAA for when he went to Oregon. So naturally, he signs with CAA to represent him. The Cleveland Browns, all CAA representatives. They draft Dylan Gabriel over Sheduer Sanders, knowing they wanted Dylan Gabriel to be their coach. Their quarterback. Sheduer Sanders is not signed to CAA. Had he signed with CAA, Kevin Stefanski would put an arm around him. What you want to run? Because he's a tool. But in my opinion, Kevin Stefanski is a bigot, a racist, in my opinion. I don't think he likes black people at all. I really do. I think he really has a problem with them. As far as now, if they say you're going to be this, I believe he wants a white quarterback. I don't think he wants a black quarterback. It's my opinion. That's the vibes I get from him. Because they don't have a good defense. They have an okay defense. They got Myles Garrett on the front four, but the running game, their run defense was terrible against the Titans. The Titans couldn't complete a pass to save their life. They ran on them. Tony Pollard got 160-some yards on the ground. Like I said, it was just horrible. The whole game was terrible. Mm-hmm. Pat Schumer and Kevin Stefanski's are boys. Oh, yeah. He would fit perfect with the Giants. Kevin Stefanski over there, yeah. They would love him in the Giants. They can go take him right on over there to New York. Tank the Giants. Take him right on over there to the New York Giants, another place that they don't want a black quarterback. And they had Russell Wilson in there, and they didn't. He'll fit right on in. Jimmy Sexton. Jimmy Sexton is not even a big agent. That's why he's just an agent. He's just a regular little mole. That's why he's working the Browns. They got agents that work with the superstars, all type players, all-star players at CAA. He's the little agent. He's working with, head coaches. His client is Stefanski and Dylan Gabriels. He's a minion. They got way bigger agents that they work with, like all-star players. Like those are the big guys. These are minions. They're like, Jimmy Sexton. I know he's like loving his names in the headlines. Look, my name again. There I am, Jimmy Sexton, baby. I'm like, Jimmy Sexton. No, he is not one of the Giants. It stands for Creative Artists Agency, CAA. CAA is all over the world. Mm-hmm. Oh no, CD Lamb is CAA. So CD Lamb would get more attention than Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, they got Derrick Henry. That's why you don't see them promote Lamar Jackson, because his mother and himself, he represented himself. He didn't have an agency. So they got mad because they don't want that to be the trend. They don't want that to be the growing trend of players representing themselves. He knew what to do, how to negotiate and get what he wanted from the team. She turned off her comments. I mean, of course, because they be roasting Dylan Gabriel 24/7. Man, did you see those comments before she did? She should have been done that. Dude, they was ruthless. And I don't know who these people are. They were going in on Dylan Gabriel's girl, dog. I was like, the funniest thing ever, dog, is somebody was like, yeah, and you mid. Told her she mid. I was like, oh my God, that's outrageous. Yeah, you mid. Yeah, see, that's the problem. See, now when they forget he's on a 2-year deal? Sheduer Sanders contract. Well, see, it's different. Well, here's the thing. He had almost like an NIL deal. It's what they call the prime equity clause. That gives Sheduer Sanders percentage of all revenues generated from merchandise, sponsorship, and promotions that's tied to his name, image, and likeness. Like the NIL deal, that included his share of the sales from his jerseys, his apparel, his slogans, and a move that would turn him into a walking business rather than just an actual player. And once he got that done, that put him in a position. Remember, his jersey sales had over 250 million in jersey sales, 14 million in commissions, and his base contract is $4.6 million. So he don't need CAA. Why am I going to pay you for? Look what I've done for myself. I'm a walking brand. I don't need you. Sheduer Sanders jersey is done over 250 million in sales this year. His rookie Cleveland Browns jersey. So the organization has made a fortune off of Sheduer Sanders, but he gets paid off of that. He gets a percentage. The prime equity deal. So now he gets a $14 million commission, which already exceeded his rookie earnings of $4.6 million, right? And he still has full ownership of his personal media content. Everything on digital platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and his half brother, Deion Sanders Jr., he's allowed to produce behind the scenes content under a unique, what they call the NFL media's rights arrangement. So he got rights to use Sheduer Sanders' likeness, even with its NFL content. So they blend in personal branding and media ownership and a performance incentive. And Deion Sanders' deal is already, being seen as Deion Sanders, Sheduer Sanders' deal, that's being seen as a potential game changer for all the other athletes that's coming into the league. The NFL don't like it because this is going to limit the money they get to take from the players, and that the contracts ain't going to be shit. This is going to be like, you can eat your contract. We don't need you. Hey, love and peace. Yep. So now Sheduer is paid. That's what I'm saying. He paid already. He made already more than everybody damn near on the team. Yeah, it's a power shift towards the players. So you're a walking entrepreneur, and that's going to set new standards for the future stars that's coming into this league. So the NFL is changing, and they don't like it. They want to be the one that had a hand on it and control everything. So that's why Sheduer Sanders is beating them through the fans. You ain't going to control the narrative anymore. Y'all ain't going to be able to make money off us. We get our legs and stuff all broken up. We walk around here broke. When we retired from the game, we penniless and we insane, and you just barely giving us enough to get by. NFL, they cash and dump you out in like 4 or 5 years. They go on to the next. And then you forgot all about the players. And meanwhile, they just all messed up. And these were people that were selling your league. Yeah, they dropped him to the 5th pick, and it don't matter because your salary or what you paying him as a salary ain't going to matter anymore to him. He going to make more money because he gets a percentage off of everything. That prime equity deal he got, he didn't need an agent. He don't need, say, CAA. What do he need y'all for? Y'all wasn't going to get him this. Y'all just want to eat off what he already created. So he don't need you guys to do that. Lamar Jackson, same thing. Lamar Jackson, that's why they don't tell you about Lamar Jackson. They try to keep him down and keep his exposure down, and they want to promote people like Josh Allen. You see, they get these deals to the white quarterbacks. They get his deal to the white players. They don't get them to the black superstars. If his father had this deal coming into the NFL, he'd have been a super fortune. He made all them college and universities money his entire time living and breathing. No, they did that to try to humble him because he didn't do an agent. It's just like Baltimore, right? Lamar Jackson was supposed to go further than what he did, and they dropped him all the way to Baltimore because he didn't sign with an agent. So he was like, that's all right. That's all right. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna take the Baltimore Ravens. We gonna do something. We gonna go. That's all right. Baltimore it is. Let's go. He knew it. He was upset because he knew he was better than everybody they drafted. And Lamar Jackson has proven that he has been that. He's been the biggest battery in there. They should have been fired their head coach who's been holding them back. But here he is, not even 100%, and he out there playing. And all his money is guaranteed, and they didn't even pay him all the money he was worth because he didn't have an agent. They mad he ain't got no agent. And then they got all of these fake fools on TV. Man, if you had an agent, see, this is why you need an agent. No, I know what I'm worth. You know what I'm worth. You're telling everybody every day, oh, he's eligible for this much and about $250 million. If this guy got that, and I'm better than him, I'm MVP, how you going to tell me what in the world I'm not supposed to get? You think my mama's stupid? My uncle can tell you that deal. I can do that deal right now. 4 years, 250. We good. We good. We got it. Good. Let's go. Shoot, Josh Allen, y'all come in with 3. Oh, well, Josh Allen is just so extra special. What Josh Allen could do. Josh Allen, this dude gets in a drag-out shootout every week, can then put up like 8 points the next week, and then y'all still praising him. He's a once-in-a-lifetime quarterback. No, he's a strong-arm quarterback. And as HD say, he can't read front sevens. He can't throw a slant pass. He can't throw anything. He can't throw any timing routes. And you can control him if you just keep him from running. But it's okay, though. They don't mind if a white boy run the football. Black guy run the football. He's got to learn to stay in the pocket. Well, Josh Allen got to learn to stay his ass in the pocket. How about that? He ran for a 40-yard touchdown yesterday. Nobody said shit. Black Pearson running. Oh, he got to learn. He can't just do that. You got to learn to stay in the pocket. What do you got to stay in the pocket for? Steve Young, y'all did the same thing to Randall Cunningham and got him broken up. Well, he just got to learn to stay in the pocket. What he staying in the pocket for? Steve Young ran. They thought it was the greatest thing ever. Look at the way he scrambles and Steve Young gets out. Steve Young. Then you got Randall Cunningham leg broke. Vince Young, as soon as he started coming in, anybody who ran with the ball, y'all hated. That was black. Michael Vick. Michael Vick was a walking cheat code. They act like Michael Vick couldn't throw the ball. Mike was left hand throwing darts down the field. 80 yards. Boom. And he could take off. And they couldn't catch him. And he was must-see TV. And you wouldn't give him no players. He made Algie Crumpler a doggone, gave him a contract out this world. A.G. Crumpler. It'd be like, okay, here you go, Vic, throw the ball, boom, A.G. Crumpler. So all the wide receivers like, hey, I'm not getting the ball. Right, Warren Moon was so good, they didn't even want him in the NFL. He had to go to the Canadian League because he was black. And he set a passing record over there as a black man. I ran into him in Nike Town in Hawaii. He was going into the Hall of Fame. And I said, man, I was like, man, I didn't even know he was going in the hall. I was like, what you doing here? He was like, man, I'm just chilling, hanging out. I'm like, man, it's good to see you, man. You was my favorite quarterback because I never saw nobody throw a more perfect spiral. Every time he threw the ball, it was perfect. Even when he went to Philly, He just had a racist head coach that they had to get up out the NFL when they realized he was a racist head coach. He was racist in college. It's just that in college, that stuff worked. He couldn't even do that over here. He told all the black superstar players they had to play for their position. It's like, what? That didn't make no sense. Vince Young comes in. He saved Jeff Fisher's job in Tennessee. He started rolling. Everything's going good. And even though he was limited with his passing, he was the first really big, strong guy that could actually win games and was getting down the field, being a big, strong guy his size. He was getting it done. But Warren Moon wasn't no guy who was going to run out the pocket. He was a passer. He set the Canadian Football League record for passing, then came in the NFL, and he was in top 10 in all-time passing. If you'd have put both of his records together, he'd be the all-time leading passer in NFL history. He was about 52 when he came into the NFL. Nah, he wasn't that old, but yeah, he came in the league and just destroyed it. When he was with Houston, man, they opened up the passing game so much. It was like, wow, they look like the Dolphins with Dan Marino. So when they go up against the Dolphins, man, they tore them up. They had their 3 wide receiver team, and they were more dangerous than the Miami Dolphins. So yeah, they had Jeffries, they had I forgot who else they had, but they had Jeffries and 2 other receivers on Houston, and they was getting off. So, yeah, man, it's just that it's always been a disdain against black quarterbacks because they know that's the last position for them in football. And they don't want to let it go, but they can't. They got no choice. Every college team now, then they got a black quarterback in there as their quarterback. They had to make the evolutionary evolvement. They was trying to say, well, blacks are not smart enough to remember the plays. 23, 8, Edgar, 9er, 6, double jacket, A. It's like, dude, nobody calls a football game like that no more. Very few teams call plays like that anymore. That stagger left. I didn't say stagger right. I said stagger left, 6, 9, 8, Jagger 3 on 1. Like, dude, they don't call plays like that no more. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Man, they go in the game like, all right, 2, 3 left, Ricky Bobby. 2, 3 left, Ricky Bobby. Let's go. On 3, break. 2, 3 left, Ricky Bobby. They be calling any kind of play. Peyton Manning used to call plays and name them after some of the defensive backs' wives. Did you know that? Peyton Manning, he didn't just do Omaha. Everybody remember Omaha all the time. Omaha. Nope. Yeah, I remember that 33-3, and they came back. Biggest fluke in football. Yeah, he would call the defensive players because they would steal their signals and know their timing of their plays. So when you call somebody's wife out, Tasha Martin, they do go, wait, that's my wife. What? Hi. Yeah, Peyton Manning used to do that a lot. So they'll be calling out players' wives' names and then there, so they can't guess their timing. Throw them all off. Yeah, sometimes it's not about the player, it's about the situation they're in. I know. I saw them at the Pro Bowl both years. They have a flag football game on the beach with the legends. Like, see, that's one thing about the Pro Bowl when it was in Hawaii, that it just ain't the same here in the United States. They just stopped putting money into the Pro Bowl. So they stopped sending people to Hawaii. It was just ridiculous. But what made it special was that the players were amongst the people, because, and not every fan going to be there. It's going to be the sum of the fans. And then you got every thought in the world flying in with their girlfriends. They save up money all year so they can fly to Hawaii so that they can get close to these players. And I'm like, the players are here with their family. What y'all doing? Like they bring in their wives, they bring in their kids. And here come these stocks thinking they finna get a player. I'm like, you going to get a rookie, maybe. Or you're one of the young single dudes that's out here, but everybody else, like, they here with their family. Oh, with the Vikings, Randall Cunningham? Oh, yes, he did. Because he had Freak. Yeah, that's what they do, man. They make all these different ways to get things done. And pretty much. But yeah, so all y'all go to my Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. And then we're going to go into something similar, but you're going to love it. I'm out. Peace. Thank y'all for popping in on me. Appreciate y'all as usual.